Hi, in this episode I wish to discuss the possible astrological indications of a twin flame. Now, I believe there are at least 5 possible indications of a twin flame. Things in astrology that, in my opinion, should be present before judging from the point of the stars that this is indeed a twin flame connection. I'm going to begin with Eros and Psyche, the mythology. Now, the story is that they were blindly married. Psyche did not know what Eros looked like, so it was an intuitive trust, and that resembles the twin flame because it's about an energetic attraction, where it's not about what the other one looks like, but more so what does the other one feel like. There was betrayal of trust leading to separation, and that also resembles the inevitable stage of physical separation in a twin flame journey. That separation was caused by Psyche being sent off to the underworld, and that, in my opinion, resembles the individual journey of the twin flame. At some point, we go into the dark, we go within, we go into our shadow self. There is a part where we need to die, where the ego needs to die, basically. But the thing is, in that mythology, it is 3 trials in the underworld, and that is what I link to the 3 stages of the Scorpio. The first stage is the Scorpion, which is all about low vibrational expression, and it's very negative. If you think about the negative side of Scorpio, what is that? It's obsession. It is the focus of control and sexual energy. The second stage is the Eagle, which is about bending misfortune into wisdom, but still struggling to balance. And that balance is what I link to the 3D and the 5D. Because at some point, especially in separation, we all come to struggle with the concept of 3D and 5D. How do you balance that? How do you merge these 2 pieces together so that it becomes livable? And then finally, there is a Phoenix, which represents the stage of transcending the physical spheres and loosening the attachment, which, in my opinion, resembles the stage of achieving harmony in the 5D. And that connects perfectly to what Psyche is given as the gift after succeeding her 3 trials in the underworld. Because she succeeds, she comes back out alive. It's her proof of the devotion. So Psyche is gifted immortality, but that also, again, resembles 5D. Looking to the perspective of these 3 Plutonian trials, it ends in 5D. And the same can be found in Psyche returning and being gifted immortality. It's all 5D. So that's why I link Eros and Psyche to the twin flame journey. And I think there is lots of wisdom and truth to be found in that mythology, in the sense of that we have to trust more in what we cannot see. If you look at connection, you don't see connection. If I was to ask you, what does connection look like? We may immediately see 2 people kissing, 2 people hugging, 2 people together. But that's the 3D aspect. The question is more so about, what does connection look like energetically? It's something that you feel. And in essence, that's enough. Because that's what it's all about in the end. When we die, all what we've built in the 3D, we're not going to take that with us. The next one that I truly believe cannot miss when it comes to defining a twin flame from an astrological perspective is the Galactic Center. This is found at 27 to 28 degrees Sagittarius. This is the point of divine downloads. People who have conjunctions to the Galactic Center from either one of the angles or the personal planets or specific asteroids. Those are people that are here with a mission, because the Galactic Center represents such. It is a mission about bringing higher consciousness to the collective. Doesn't that ring a bell? The Galactic Center is a point where we tune into the spheres of the soul. It's also the soul memory. If the Galactic Center is activated in your chart, you may feel lonely. You may feel like I know things, or I feel like I have a certain mission, but I feel misunderstood because the thing is, the Galactic Center is what brings revolutionary journeys to people. So therefore, I truly believe the Galactic Center cannot miss. And from my own observations and with my own experience, with my own twin flame, I've noticed repeatedly that the Galactic Center was activated during important events, including the physical union. Now, the thing also is, when it comes to a portal of when twin flames come into our consciousness, so to speak, and for the fact being that this is about a collective wake-up call, it can't be missed that there has to be a transit portal, like a moment in time when the planets align so perfectly, or that there are too many significant things going on in the sky that support the idea of twin souls. I made a brief post on my website discussing the possible dates of what I believe to be potential portals. And now the thing is, 2017, that is when asteroid Polus was conjunct the Galactic Center. Polus being the motherfucker that catapults us onto our path, realigning us with ourselves. It is a wake-up call. It is sudden, it is shocking sometimes, or most of the time. And then you merge that with the idea of the Galactic Center, which is about soul memory, higher consciousness, truth that has to be brought to the collective. Again, makes too much sense. And this only happens every 92 years. That is rare enough to fit the concept of twin flame that only has like 144,000 chosen ones. But okay, 92 years, that's a fucking long time. But I just want to bring to your attention that the transits should have that same flavor if twin flames are indeed rare. The next one is Vesta, because she represents everything that's sacred. It's divine and it's purity. It's about devotion to what's spiritual, or devotion to our spiritual path. Again, this asteroid, in my opinion, cannot miss when it comes to a twin flame. But she also signifies sacrifices. And I believe walking the twin flame path is about making sacrifices. There are things that we have to transcend. There are things that we have to let go of. There are things that we have to do in order to evolve, like making a sacrifice so that we can grow. Therefore, I also believe that Vesta must have an important role between twin flames. The next one, which is not often discussed, is the moon. The moon is our emotional nature. It's personal. It's our memories. It's our instincts. It's our emotional reactions. It's also what we need. It's what we feel attracted to. So this cannot miss in terms of harmonious moon-moon aspects. The strongest aspect of all is the conjunction, because it's merging. But if you have two moons on top of one another, then you have an instant, intuitive flow, recognition, and similarity, which in my opinion cannot miss if you wish to define whether someone is your twin flame or not. Having conflicting moons may ignite sexual attraction, but that's not exactly what this is all about. Like having moon square moon, it is attraction because there is tension, and that is what ignites passion. But on the long run, moon square moon can be quite difficult because the emotional nature, the emotional needs do not cooperate very well. And that in itself does not make sense when we talk about twin flames, because twin flames are the same. So that's why I believe moon conjunct moon could be a very strong potential indication of twin flames. But I'm also speaking from own experience, because that's what I have with my twin flame. The moons are exact conjunct, and my Polus is in the mix, so that makes it really explosive. But yeah. And finally, Lilith. Lilith cannot miss because she is a channel. She is also a portal. She is the source, the deepest source of our intuition. She is also sexual energy. She is the raw divine energy. But Lilith also acts as intense attraction, which twin flames have. But Lilith also represents the shadow self. It's how we meet ourselves and how we come to see parts within that we do not recognize. I think this is also a very common thing within the twin flame journey, is that there is inevitably a stage when we just don't recognize ourselves anymore because we start acting from primal instincts. We start acting from things that we feel, which we cannot explain. And now the thing is, that's exactly what Lilith is. Lilith is the channel that picks things up, but there is never a decent explanation for what the fuck it is that you're sensing. And that also fits perfectly with a twin flame because we feel something, but we cannot explain what it is, especially in the beginning when you first meet one another. This is otherworldly. This is a shock, but she also acts as magnetic attraction, which is also a thing that happens between twin flames. There is this magnetic pull, and then when we close off, because the thing is, Lilith as a channel, she can close off, meaning that we feel blocked, and that influences our sexual energy, the sexual flow. Lilith is a connection to other spheres. I mean, it makes too much sense to have a prominent Lilith between twin flames. This video is a conclusion of my own observations through my own experiences. But to me, they also make a lot of sense if you look deeper beyond the basics of astrology. This video was also triggered by a post that I came across, I think about 2 weeks ago. And that post was about the 7 indications of a twin flame in a composite chart, but I was not impressed by the things that were claimed. So that got me thinking, that got me gathering my shit, gathering the studies and observations that I did onto the twin flame to just bring you a whole other perspective, which in my opinion makes most sense or more sense. But of course, again, this is my opinion. You do not have to agree. An additional thing that blew my mind that I wish to share with you is that recently the concept of light language crossed my path, and I was very much fascinated by it. So I thought to myself, okay, let me just sit down, try to meditate and empty my mind and channel. So I did. And during that channel, the very first word that came out of my mouth was Maisele, which basically means to the worldly, and that is Estonian. But my twin flame is Estonian. Dude, this is amazing. Maisele. Maisele. I've never heard that word, but yet it came out of my mouth. And the most mind-blowing thing about this is that the Galactic Center was rising at that moment, again validating that the Galactic Center has a linkage with deep soul connections. Lol, please, motherfucker, I just fucking downloaded the language of my twin flame. Oh my god, you know? That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope that it somehow poked your brain cells. Feel free to poke mine, and feel free to share your personal experiences. Goodbye.